Okay, year three. So today is going to be our last sentence stacking day, and we're going to be focusing on shape 5, which is all about signing off. And this is where we're going to basically sum everything up into sort of a closing sentence and then sign off and say sort of we'll write again tomorrow. So thinking about our success criteria, we are going to first of all include a feeling sentence along with an exclamation sentence. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to convey that sort of strong emotion about what has happened to her on her journey. And we want to put that into a sentence. So thinking about what I know about Ileona, because I've been put in her shoes, I'm going to say something along the lines of, this has been a disaster, or this is the worst experience of my life, and end that with an exclamation mark. I really like that sentence, actually. This is the worst experience of my life. I'm going to go with that one. This is the worst experience of my life. I'm going to write that on my sentence here. So this, capital T, this is the. Now I'm going to write the word worst. This is the worst experience of my life. And it's an exclamation mark. Exclamation sentence to convey that strong emotion that I am feeling. This is the worst experience of my life. Let's make sure I cross my T correctly. Okay, and now I'm going to obviously underline my success criteria, which is my feeling, but it's my exclamation mark I'm going to show you and underline there. So what we'd like you to do is, for your first sentence today, is to write your one sentence using your exclamation mark to sum up this experience. So this has been a disaster. This is the worst experience of my life. And you're going to write that sentence now. Okay, this is now going to be the last sentence for our diary entry. And this is where we use our sign off. Sign off. What is a sign off and where have we used them previously? Have a little think. Okay. So a sign off is usually used to indicate the end of something, and it's usually a name. So if you think about maybe if you've received a Christmas card, then it would always say to, and then it would be from, and then someone's name. The same in a letter. If you receive a letter, it would always say who it's from. And that goes with the same with a diary entry. You always sign off with the name of the person who wrote the diary entry. Now, in letters, people do normally use their full name, but in a diary entry, because it's your own personal thing, you could be a little bit more informal and just use your first name. Now, thinking about this, I don't just want to, go on from this sentence, this is the worst experience of my life, and then put my name. I want to have a closing sentence. So I want to say something, like, I'm hopeful that I will write again tomorrow, or hopefully I'll be able to write again tomorrow. Hopefully this won't be my last diary entry. Hopefully I'll see another day and can write another entry. So you're along those lines of you're hopeful that you'll be able to write the diary entry again. And that is what I'm going to go for. Now you'll notice behind me, my lens is actually my purpose lens, and the purpose is that signing off. So I'm going to go with the sentence, hopefully I'll be able to write again tomorrow. I'm going to say that again. So hopefully I'll be able to write again tomorrow. And I'm going to write that sentence down now. So I'm going to move that up a little bit there. So hopefully. Now I'm going to put a comma there because hopefully needs a comma after it. And the reason we have got a comma there is because hopefully is an adverb. We're sort of describing the manner of how something is done. So it's an adverb of manner, an adverbial phrase. So that goes at the beginning with our comma in there. So hopefully I'll, and hopefully you should be able to remember that we would need our apostrophe, it's a contraction. Hopefully I'll be able to write again tomorrow. Full stop there. Hopefully I'll be able to write again tomorrow. There's my full stop. And then the last thing I need on the new line is our name. And obviously we are Ileona. I'm going to write that in there like that. Now with my success criteria, it was that purpose of that signing off. So I'm going to underline the name. I'm also going to underline this adverbial phrase with the comma here. That is a big challenge in itself. If you can end up writing an adverbial with a comma to describe the manner of it, hopefully I'll be able to write again. I'm hopeful I'll be able to write again. Trying to think of any other words for hopeful. You could even say something along the lines of with luck, comma, I'll be able to write again tomorrow. Completely up to you. So that is our last sentence there. So please could you now write your last sentence? Your second sentence is your last sentence today. Making sure that you've got all of those success criteria, and then I'd like you to go back through your 2 sentences to double check you've got everything in place, double check the punctuation, your spelling, and then what we would then like you to do is if you go into the next slide, I'll reveal what to do. Okay, so for your final task today, Year 3, we would like you to look back at all of your sentence stacking days, so look at all of those 5 shapes that we covered, and we'd like you to look back at those sentences, double check them for any editing you need to do. Have you got all punctuation in place? Are the spellings correctly? And just have another read through them. What were you talking about in each shape? What were each shape? What did they focus on? What success criteria did you use for each of those shapes? Because this is really going to come in handy tomorrow when we look at planning our own diary entry from the perspective of Iliona's brother. So I want you to have a look to see what success criteria, what lenses did you use in those sentences.